See potentially at some day you guys meeting together, maybe at a catch weight, or maybe if he keeps going up in weight?
Probably. Yeah. That would be like a fun fight. Yeah, that would be a fun fight. Now that would be technical. That fight would be like a dream fight. Yeah. But I think I'll be too big for him.
He's saying that he want to finish. I think he said he got 7 fights on a deal that he about to announce soon or something to that effect. He said the deal is bigger than the deal that Floyd Mayweather had. So I think we're talking about some huge money behind it that's going to be guaranteed. I think Inoue is one of those fights because I think Inoue in his head wants to come up. He wants Inoue, who some people say is the pound for pound king right now. He's fighting at 126. Definitely a great fighter. They call him the Monster. If you haven't heard of him, go look him up. Doing his thing. He hit the canvas this past Sunday night / Monday morning when taking on Louis Neary. First round too. It was a clean clock. Knocked him off his feet. It didn't look like it buckled him, like in terms of like him having any ill effects afterwards. It just seemed like a shot that he didn't anticipate. Really took him off his feet, and he really felt it. But as a true champion, he got up off the canvas, he handled business, and he came back with a 6-round knockout to continue to maintain that he's number 1 or number 2 pound for pound. But this is the thing, right? Nobody's really speaking on this just yet, so we got to be the first to really get to talking about it. Could we see Gervonta Davis take on Inoue in a battle? Now, I don't know how it happens because I can't see Gervonta being able to make a catch weight of like 130. But I do know Inoue has moved up 4 weight classes at this point, I want to say. So it's very plausible that he could move up 9 more pounds and move up to 135. And I think, we're talking about a fight that would happen, either in Saudi Arabia or Tokyo, on his home field, a huge fight. I'm thinking like, Gervonta would get $100 million easy off of a fight like this. And if they were to fight, Doug, I want to know what your thoughts are. How do you think the fight goes?
Let me touch on the fight against Neary real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Hank Davis. He got knocked down in the first. But one of the things that I saw about Inoue is that just like a fundamentally flawed jab. Like he'll jab and then he'll drop his right, which he got caught by Neary. Knocked him down. So yeah, it stung him a little bit, but he was very patient to get back up. So I think he just gathered his composure just to first get a reality check. Like, dang, I just got knocked down for the first time in my career. Settled into the fight and put in some work. So watching just the highlights of that fight, he has really good pop. 27-0. I definitely think pound for pound he's top 5. I don't think he's truly the best, but just watching him, it's a lot there. And I think if he decides to move up and fight Tank, or they find a catch weight, I don't think that will work out. I mean, he has Sam Goodman that's coming up that's 18-0, and they're gonna duke it out at the end of this year. So I think that would be a good fight. But if he were to fight Tank, which it will not happen, it would just be a chess match, if you ask me. Both fighters are very smart, and I definitely think Tank will outpower him for sure. He's just a lot stronger, a lot bigger.
Yep.
But Inoue is very quick, in my opinion. Again, like I said before, he has a lot of pop. So I don't know, man. I just don't think that would be a good matchup for Inoue. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, and I like you kind of recapping on the fight. I think Inoue is one of the most complete fighters that there is at any weight class, from a precision, speed, defense, power, everything you can think about you want in a fighter, he has it. I think with Louis Neary, it felt kind of personal because Louis Neary fought another Japanese fighter a few years ago, and there was like a whole thing about him putting him on the canvas and then testing positive, I want to say, for PEDs after that. So, being in front of the home crowd, I think there's a lot of pressure for him to kind of avenge that fight. However, like, even with us talking about him being complete and everything he has, we talking about Tank Davis, man. And me being a huge boxing fan and watching boxing my whole life, I haven't seen a dominant force. Like, maybe, Tyson in his heyday. I was real young for that though, but Tyson in his heyday, Evander Holyfield, I feel like was really dominant when he was on top. Floyd was dominant as well, but in a different way. Like, when you talk about Pretty Boy Floyd and what he was able to do to numerous fighters, and then going to Money May, where it was a lot more, Philly shell, defensive excellence. But just in terms of what Tank puts out, man, I haven't seen nothing like it, man. I'm a huge fan. I just don't think Inoue could withstand that power. If Louis Neary put him on the canvas,
no,
I don't think he's getting back up when Tank touches that jaw.
Yes, bro. Take that situation that happened in the first round and put Tank Davis' ass right there. He's not getting back up, bro.
He's going to go down again if it's Tank. If he does, let's say he gets back up because it's the first round. Let's say he gets back up.
I don't know.
The next time he goes down, which there will be a next time with Tank, he ain't getting up. He ain't getting up. So I like that fight. I think, Tank is saying that he want to finish. I think he said he got 7 fights on a deal that he about to announce soon or something to that effect. He said the deal is bigger than the deal that Floyd Mayweather had. So I think we're talking about some huge money behind it that's going to be guaranteed. I think Inoue is one of those fights because I think Inoue in his head wants to come up. He wants to keep coming up. I don't think he's going to stop. I don't think he stops at 130. I think he comes up to 135. And at that point in time, we're gonna get probably the greatest fight in the lower divisions that we've ever seen.
That would be a mega fight. I just don't think Tank will be able to stay at 135. I don't think he'll be able to stay. As he continues to age, he's not gonna be able to maintain that 135. And Tank has a lot of respect for Inoue. If you go back and watch some of his interviews, and every time they mention Inoue, he shows a great deal of respect from him. And he even said, like, hey, it would be a good matchup. But he said, yo, he's too small. Like, I'm just a lot bigger than him. It's
too small.
Yeah, it just wouldn't be good. It's not happening. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
We'll see, man. Yeah, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it at all. But
For two, like, bruh, his pro debut was in 2012. I think he's like 30. So,
yeah, somewhere around there.
The past 12 years, maybe I'm kind of like off base, but I don't think 27 fights is a lot of fights if you ask me within a 12-year period. That's just me. So it's not a lot of
fights. That's about 2 a year, which is, depending on how you're managing your fighter, that's solid. You gonna get some guys that fight 3 times in a year, which is overdoing it a little bit because you look at like Canelo and all the fights he's had and how active he was. And again, in fighter years, they say Canelo's closer to like 40 because of how many fights he's had up until this point. But then you go back and look at some of the guys in the old school fighting 100, 120 times. And, so I don't know what the perfect balance is, but it's one of those mega fights that deep down in my heart, I hope that we get at some point. I hope we're able to see 2 greats like that battle it out, especially if we're never going to get the whole Canelo and Crawford fight.
Don't do it, Inoue. Don't do it.
Dub say don't do it, Inoue. You might want to think twice about it. Listen, respectfully. It's always respectfully with us. But yeah, man, listen, great fight this past weekend. If y'all didn't check it out, check out the highlights. Listen, as always, man, we need 3 things. That's CLS treatment, comment, like, subscribe. We'll be back with